Hi. So, I'm usually a very cowardly film viewer. I don't like spookies, and jump scares, and blood makes me squirm most of the time. I also tend to watch newer media, so I often overlook the old classics. Fast forward to when my friend Hay told me I was watching Eraserhead for this spooky essay collaboration we're all doing. Eraserhead is an older movie I'd only heard of in passing for being incredibly weird, so this is pretty far from my normal. I was a bit nervous. As it turns out, I loved it. Eraserhead is the kind of movie I can't possibly imagine being widely circulated and influential in pop culture today. It's bizarre and slow, and there are literally 10 minutes in the movie before there's a spoken line of dialogue. When people do talk, they're off putting and inexplicable and frequently talk past each other.
Oh yeah?
The ending doesn't explain anything or clarify what came before it. The protagonist's head falls off for a bit in the middle, but then stops having fallen off, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Despite all this, Eraserhead is a movie a lot of people know very well. So, what makes Eraserhead special? Why did it stand out to me? There is a lot to like and a lot to analyze. But there is a key feature, one thing, that amplifies its effectiveness as horror and elevates it as a piece of media, especially when considered through the lens of modern cinema. There is no attempt by Eraserhead to make this movie easy for you to digest. What I mean is, I don't believe this movie is hard to understand, but it trusts the audience to engage with it. To make this movie work, you must be curious and use your imagination. You must ponder the significance of events and images you're seeing. If you take everything at face value, you'll be bored by seemingly disconnected nonsense for a while, and then eventually the movie will abruptly end. There are no comic relief characters, there's no definitive answers about anything. And that's really cool. And it turns out it also makes the horror a lot more tense. Eraserhead inspired me to think about it and to interpret it for myself. You could spend hours discussing what this weird little baby says about parenthood, and the movie doesn't give you an explicit answer to what that is. This movie barely tells you it's a baby. My reading of all this stems from my own life experience as a dad. I was horrified by negative feelings early parenthood would give me from time to time. But when you're told it's the greatest thing ever, and then it makes you feel things like,
Shut up!
that can make you feel like a monster and a failure. But that's only one reading. Parents and non parents alike might think about completely different questions that the movie raises. Did Henry actually have an affair with this lady, or is this all in his imagination? Who is this lady? She was in the Radiator, but I didn't take that from the film until I saw her name in the credits as Lady in the Radiator. But did I have a worse experience because nobody jumped out like a Marvel movie character and said,
That lady was in the radiator.
absolutely not? The fact that I've read my own meaning into the film made the anxiety, the horror, more real to me. And that the movie trusted me to engage shows that it respects me as a viewer far more than a lot of other modern media does. And that's better, right? Audiences want film that engages them and asks them to come up with their own interpretations, right? Okay, so what does this mean? Are viewers lazy or dumb now? No, 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 no. After experiencing a weird thing with many different interpretations, it is natural people will go looking for answers, or even just conversation. But the fact that this film asks the audience to really engage, interpret, it's evocative of masterful literature, beautiful paintings, art. In so much modern media, what you see is what you get. I didn't even realize I'd been missing out on an alternative until I watched Eraserhead. It was excellent, and brought to light a fear of mine I didn't even know I had, that modern media won't ask us to think anymore. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to keep going with the Tales from the Essay Library Horror Edition, Check out the next essay in the playlist by Josh, aka Dad Nuke. I recommended he watch the excellent zombie thriller Train to Busan. Thanks.